It is time to leave your worries outside and laugh with us inside the Treehouse. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm, Raj Sharma, and Jerry Caldwell. Yes, it is a full Treehouse today. Wednesday, January 29th, 2025. Hello, Trey.
Hello, Dan.
Hello, Raj.
Hello, Dan.
Hi, Jerry.
Hello, Dan.
Are you boys ready for the penis of the future?
I didn't know we had one of the past.
Well, brace yourselves.
Okay.
Oh, man. There is good news. The human penis has grown at an alarming rate over the past 30 years. That's according to a 2023 Stanford University study that found the average penis jumped 25% in length between 1992 and 2021. So it turns out Gen Z's doing something right. The average length jumped.
Actually, wouldn't that be Gen X doing something right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be us.
Oh, that's true, because that would be us producing the Gen Z bangers. Anyway, the average length, they say, from 92 to 2021 jumped from 4.8 to 6 inches. Not bad. This momentum, by the way, could see the average length of male members push past 8.5 inches by the year 2100, which really makes you think long and hard about Star Trek in the 23rd and 24th centuries.
We'll all be dead. So that at least that's good news.
And now we know why.
But we will be stiff.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in prison in 2100.
Oh no. That's its own deterrent.
Yeah.
But things are looking up for men. Recent studies have shown that the average penis is growing, but there's a lot more than that in store for the male sex organ. That's according to experts that talk to the Daily Mail. Stronger swimmers, automated implants, built-in contraception, and other features could soon grace our male reproductive anatomy in the not-too-distant future.
Now you're talking.
Yeah. According to a professor of biological anthropology at Oxford Brookes University, he says if there is enough demand driven by fashion or societal trends for tweaking bits of the body, then we're probably not that far away from being able to genetically do that with the male member. This professor, his name, Simon Underdown.
Thank God it wasn't overgrown.
Right.
Oh, man.
Talk about taking something that is most unfortunate when you're in school.
Yeah.
And turning it right around.
Well, I mean, if it's big enough, it might be able to look back at you. You might be able to look eye to eye with the... Anyway. So, yeah, advancements in technology are going to be beneficial to us as men and terrifying to those subjected to it.
Yeah, I mean, your pegging is going to be worse.
Oh, God.
I got to it before Trey did. I could see it on his face.
I don't know if anyone's more excited than my wife.
Finally, it's become a reality.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Dr. Underdown. He says, if there is enough demand, he says, that's what makes humans really interesting. We're close to the point at which we can mess about with biological processes because we want to, rather than there being a strong biological selective pressure. Researchers hypothesize that environmental factors, not evolution, may have catalyzed rapid growth downstairs for us men. Things like pollution or certain lifestyle habits. Hey, look, I guess there is a benefit to rampant pollution. According to the lead author of the study, who doesn't have a name as interesting as Dr. Underdown, he says, if we're seeing this fast of a change, it means that something powerful is happening to our bodies.
You say that again.
What? Yeah. Or like Spider-Man's uncle says, with great power comes great responsibility. However, they say sizing up could spell problems for the female anatomy, which may not be able to accommodate the change in men, creating a new hurdle to pregnancy. I think that's simple enough. You just, she's in one corner of the room, you're in the other. just try. Anyway. Another area ripe for improvement is motility of our swimmers. Bioengineers might look to enhance movement or shape to make them even more efficient and likely to penetrate the egg cell membrane. Sharper swimmers.
Tadpoles. Yep, we're doomed.
See, this is what happens with drastic medical advancements, is the complications from them. Things that maybe you hadn't thought about when these advancements are made. Like sharp swimmers.
Maybe Dr. Underdown doesn't know how strong some people's pullout game is.
But you're also talking about bioengineering, and it's going to really become prevalent with the generation who thinks face tattoos are a good idea.
Yep, that's very true. Anyway, science is now telling us that they believe the penis of the future is coming soon.
like your strap-on 6,000 via Amazon.
Does that get stuck in Puerto Rico too?
Yeah, the Amazon shipments are a real pain.
The Virgin Islands are afraid of it.
They can't say Virgin anymore.
Exactly.
It's just the islands now.
It's the crying islands. The good news is I feel like we found a plot for the fourth Back to the Future movie.
I gotta go save the island's virginity.
I can't wait for the adult version of that.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com. You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
If you like the Treehouse show, although right now I don't because I'm surrounded by a bunch of jerks, then you'll love us on social media. So give us a follow. At Treehouse On Air is our handle across all social media platforms. At Treehouse On Air is our handle. And now I wish I was saying something other than handle after that story we just did about the male member growing. Across all social media platforms. At Treehouse On Air. Thank you very much. Give us a follow. We appreciate it. Dan, Trey, Raj, and Jerry Caldwell with you inside the Treehouse today on Wednesday, January 29th, 2025. Trey, was your dad, after he passed, was he buried, cremated, both? Some people do that as well.
Cremated, and then my stepmother and I buried his ashes just in a sentimental spot.
Gotcha. Did you keep the ashes? Any of the ashes?
No.
Okay. Raj, what about your folks?
Both of them were cremated.
Okay.
By Hindu tradition.
Gotcha. Now, did you keep any of those ashes at
No,
all?
we take them to the Ganges River in India, and then there's a prayer ceremony that's done, and then the ashes are put in the river.
Gotcha. Okay. Jerry, not to be crude, but are your parents still with us?
No.
Okay.
My adoptive family, I am an orphan.
Yep.
I
know the feeling.
My biological mother died a couple of months before the tornado hit my house in 2019.
Oh yeah.
So, but I do have some of her ashes right over there.
Okay, so you have some of the ashes. Okay.
Yes.
I'm kind of fascinated by this. My mom is still living. My dad is not. And we don't have any ashes or anything. And so I'm fascinated when people have them. I know some people, I don't know if it's a cultural thing or just a personal preference. I have no idea. I've known people who will have some ashes put into jewelry and they'll wear it around with them and things. But apparently, when you have a family member cremated, one option is to disperse some of their ashes to family members who want them. And they'll put them in different containers so everyone can have a piece of the loved one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there's one example of this where a lady got some of her father and it was put into a plastic vial in the shape of a cross. And that's where her dad or part of her dad ashes were put. And based on a video she posted on TikTok, she kept it in the closet next to a camera. She kept PawPaw in a little vial in the shape of a cross in the back of her closet on a shelf. And I cannot stress this enough. If you are a parent, it is of the utmost importance that you know where your children are at all times. And I don't think there's a better example of this than this lady's PawPaw ashes in the back of her closet, because she lost track of her children long enough to where they got into PawPaw's ashes. And she doesn't know exactly what they did with them. Okay. Now I'm going to let her share with you her version of these events as they played out in the back of her closet.
The boys got PawPaw. They got him and they dumped him out all over my carpet.
That's pretty bad, right? They get into the closet, they get PawPaw's ashes, and they throw him onto the carpet. But that's not all.
And I didn't realize it was PawPaw, and I vacuumed him up.
Wow. Okay.
No, wait. No, wait. It's about to get worse.
They may have eaten some of them too.
Are her kids not old enough to read?
They may have eaten some of them too. Because Rami had the cap in his mouth and Jesus.
Yeah, I think Jesus is the theme here.
I mean,
see, this is why you don't have kids.
Well, this is also where that first story ties in about them, cranks getting bigger and motility getting better, because they're going to have to produce more because they're producing idiots that eat Tide Pods and ashes.
Yes, I agree with that statement 100%.
I was hoping that was all going to take care of itself, but of course not. Of course not. Of course not.
Stupid always finds a way.
I know.
That's the reason this show exists.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Do what Cindy said. For all things Treehouse, go to treehouseonair.com. That's treehouseonair.com, where you can find past shows, links, contact info, and more, all right there on our website, treehouseonair.com. That's treehouseonair.com. The ridiculous train is rolling on today inside the Treehouse. It seems Japan is having a problem with monkeys trying to mate with deer.
First world problems.
It really is.
But if there were ever a country, I mean, that's
the country that would probably, have the issue. Yeah, this is weird because in 2015, hang on, I'm brain farting. In 2015, on an island in Japan, a male macaque monkey jumped up onto the back of a female sika deer and started trying to mate with it. At the time, researchers believed that the male's low-ranking status might be driving the unusual behavior, perhaps serving as an outlet for having no breeding opportunities within his own species. That's also common in Florida. In other words, it appeared to be a one-off encounter which just so happened to have been caught on camera. But then, in 2018, it happened again, only this time, 5 female macaque monkeys were riding and rubbing male deer. And what's more, the behavior appeared in a totally new area from the previous situation. Meanwhile, back on the original island of deer by monkeys, researchers kept seeing the deer mounting behavior in 2020, 2021, and 2023. I guess they took 2022 off. Interestingly, some of the later incidents appeared to involve this same male that first initiated the behavior in 2015. Researchers were able to identify the original monkey based on his striking almond-shaped eyes, though they can't be absolutely sure it's the same one. Trey, you were right when you said of all countries that this would happen, Japan makes sense because just Jesus Christ.
Hey man, monkey's got a monkey.
Yeah, that is true.
They call them macaques for a reason.
If the animal truly is the same monkey, other monkeys in the troop may have learned deer mounting from him, spreading the behavior through what's known as social transmission. Scientists also say what's interesting is maybe the first time the male did it was due to sexual frustration, so for one specific purpose. But now the male has ascended to a dominant rank and the females around him are doing it too. So now the issue is becoming more complex.
So it started as a rogue macaque.
Mm-hmm.
Macaques out of hand.
Macaque.
That macaque's got balls.
Keep that up. That won't be the only thing they're getting through social transmission.
Uh-huh.
You know, once you go deer, I don't know the answer to that, but
you end up on the treehouse.
once you go deer, you have no fear. I don't know how it works, but
oh, that's actually pretty good, Raj. Not nicely done. I like that. Yeah.
yeah.
Basically, the scientists are at a loss as to the reason why, and they're grasping at any sort of an explanation why the monkeys are mounting the deer, and not just why they're doing it, but why the deer are seemingly so okay with it.
They're grasping at macaques. Can we just get T-shirts to say "Once you go deer" and just have macaque on it?
The smiling one, yeah.
The monkey, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, according to one of the scientists, their guess is that the deer are extremely socially tolerant of the monkeys because they're picking the parasites off. This sounds to me like a monkey bait and switch. It's like, no, don't move. I'm just going to pick these parasites off of your back, and then, you know, when they're not paying attention, get it good. And once the deer learn to tolerate the behavior, it's just kind of stuck.
Macaques did? It just stuck?
You know, it's had to have happened at least once.
You know, there's some Japanese guy walking over to somebody over in wildlife management. It's like, macaque stuck in a deer.
Yeah.
It happens. It's
Trey, you're right. Trey, you're absolutely right. In a country known for its weird fetishes, even its animals have weird fetishes.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com. You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Oh, I don't know how we're going to recover from that, but we'll try. Did you know that you can get even more Treehouse? It's true. Subscribe to Treehouse Plus. Bonus content and subscriber-only episodes, including video, are available at patreon.com/treehouseonair. That's patreon.com/treehouseonair to subscribe to Treehouse Plus. I'm Dan, along with Trey, Raj, and Jerry inside the Treehouse today. Jerry, what was it you were just saying about the monkeys that are trying to mate with deer in Japan?
There's so many people that live in Japan. There's got to be video of macaque in deer.
Well, I mean, the original incident from 2015, they said it was caught on camera. So there is some photographic evidence, maybe video. I'm not sure.
No, that's the only time I'm okay with Pornhub being banned. You know what's going to end up there.
I think that would have ended up on X Hamster.
I don't know what's worse. Is that's funnier if you actually subscribe to X Hamster.
Just beating it furiously.
That's the login.
X Hamster's theme music when you go to the website?
Yeah, that's the login music. Are you 18 and up?
What's that?
So, are you 18 and up? That's what starts playing.
Yeah, you got to be careful. The volume's up, and you pull up the website on your phone.
Yeah, that's when your dad comes in and is like, "Get off X Hamster." Like, how'd you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, Dad perks up. I know that song. Sweet Jesus.
Yeah,
it is. By the way, the story was on National Geographic. So yeah, there's photographic evidence somewhere, maybe video. And it looks like a couple of spots in that story where I was seeing it had hyperlinks. And I'm not clicking on that.
Yeah, that's the only time I would love to hear David Attenborough narrate. just so I can hear David Attenborough say macaque. That's the only reason.
But when he says it, it's going to sound super fancy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's still going to sound like he's talking about his junk.
Well, yeah.
Macaques in Japan. You're like, yes, it is, David.
Sorry, I just.
And there are indeed pictures, easily Googleable.
I've sent many pictures of macaques. I'm sure you have, David.
Yeah. All right. There's no good way to segue into this, so I'm just going to do it. Just going to say, here we go. Now for something completely different. Thank you, Monty Python. Are you guys familiar with the singer C.P. Lacey?
No.
Well, you're about to be. I don't know where C.P. Lacey is from. I don't know what time C.P. Lacey is from. And I'm pretty sure I know which country he's from. I'm just going to share this with you. This is a singer that according to the byline underneath his video that has been posted online, he's known as C.P. Lacey. And I now would like to share with you his hit. Okay. So here we go. This is C.P. Lacey for the first time inside the Treehouse.
Yeah, I feel all right now.
Oh, yeah.
Came home last night. You wouldn't make love to me.
It's probably because you look like a weirdo. This looks to be like a cable access thing. I don't know if he was the special musical guest on someone's Wannabe Tonight show somewhere in the 70s or 80s. But it's got a blue background and some sort of room divider, lattice work kind of thing. And he's dressed up. He's got a black tux on. It's a black tie type affair. And he's got shoulder length dreadlocks with the beads in them, looking like he just came back from Cancun. And now here's his hit.
Yeah, I feel all right now. When I came home last night, you wouldn't make love to me. You fell fast asleep. You wouldn't even talk to me. You said, I'm so crazy. You said, I'm so crazy, girl. Coming home intoxicated. You see, I just want to love you. I just want to love you, baby. That is why I'm so elated. Come on now, give it to me, baby. Give it up, girl. Don't you want to be mine tonight? Come on, give it to me, baby.
I think this guy's the reason why Milli Vanilli started doing lip syncing.
I think he's the reason Dry January ends. You listen to that enough times, you'll want to drink.
Oh, hold on. It won't be a matter of want. It'll be a matter of need.
Yeah.
I could think of it. That boy good.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good and
Good and terrible.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
It is time to advertise right here inside the Treehouse. If you would like to take advantage of sponsorship opportunities that are available on the show, shoot us an email, treehouseonair@gmail.com. That's treehouseonair@gmail.com. Dan O'Malley here, along with Trey Trenholm, Raj Sharma, and Jerry Caldwell, coming off of the C.P. Lacey singer. And Raj, you were just telling me that you don't think that's an original song of his?
I want to say it's a Rick James song.
Yes, give it to me, baby.
Okay, yeah. See, I knew.
God, his rendition of it was so bad, I didn't even recognize it as a Rick James song.
Yeah.
Although now I guess it makes sense why he has the dreads in the videos. I guess he's trying to look like Rick James.
Those are braids, Dan, not dreads.
Huh?
Those are braids.
For white people, it's dreads.
Yeah, it's kind of all encompassing.
It's not.
No, really different.
in my mind.
In your white brain.
Yes, in my white brain, braids are dreads.
Dreads or braids? I don't know how that works. Okay.
No, I think in my mind, I'll justify this by saying braids are dreads, but not all dreads are braids.
Rick James,
Close
everybody.
enough.
Rick James.
Yeah. Let's
Sexual chocolate.
might drop in the mouth. Today is Wednesday, January 29th, 2025. Look, if I'm being honest, that is not the first dumb white guy thing I've ever said on this show, and it sure is will not be the last.
Amen.
Let's celebrate today with some birthdays, shall we? Mackenzie Porter turns 35. She was Naomi Bohannon on Hell on Wheels. She was also Marcy on Travelers, whatever that is. Oh, speaking of whatever that is, I know we're in the middle of birthdays here. Let me make sure to see if anyone's birthday is in any movies I'm about to recommend to you guys. No, it does not look like it. Tara and I watched a couple of movies over the weekend I want to recommend to you because it's well documented here inside the Treehouse that you guys think I have terrible taste in movies. And while I have seen some real clunkers in my life, and I remember them, and sometimes look back at some of them with a fondness, I do watch good movies, and I want to share a couple with you that we recently watched that I think you guys will enjoy. The first one is Saturday Night. It was on Netflix. It is a minute-by-minute portrayal of the 90 minutes leading up to the very first episode of Saturday Night Live. Okay?
Oh.
Yep.
Really, really excellent. The actors in it. I mean, you've got actors today, current actors portraying legends like Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, Gilda Radner, John Belushi. And Billy Crystal. Some of these actors were phenomenal at looking like and especially even sounding like these original people.
Which some are still alive, so they could have just cast those people.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be believable because it's been 50 years. Like
Right.
Chevy Chase playing himself, 50 years ago, it's not going to be very believable. Although I'm sure he'd jump at the chance.
So Chevy Chase couldn't play Chevy Chase?
Not 50 years ago. Like Chevy Chase,
he'd break a hip
Chevy
if he
Chase
fell over
today
now.
cannot play Chevy Chase of 50 years ago.
Okay.
You get it?
That's no, but that's an interesting take.
You don't understand why 70-year-old Chevy Chase can't play.
I mean, they with
20-year-old Chevy Chase.
Yeah, but what they can do with AI and makeup and special effects, like they could age you down. Like
they couldn't afford to do that with some of that cast. And also that would mean having to have Chevy Chase on a set.
And
nobody wants that. Yeah.
No. But when you think back to the original cast of Saturday Night Live, those that are still with us, they probably couldn't afford to have. So they just had a new generation of actors do it. It was really, really good. So I recommend Saturday Night. That's on Netflix. A minute by minute, 90 minutes, so it's short, account of the very first Saturday Night Live episode.
How much blow did they show they were doing?
A lot, quite a bit.
Yeah,
it was pretty factual. It seems true to history, including not knowing where John Belushi was at various times. They had a portrayal of George Carlin, who was the first host of Saturday Night Live, getting lockjaw before the show because he had taken too much cocaine. Pretty cool. So worth a watch. And the other one is a Hugh Grant movie that we just heard about. We watched over the weekend. It's called Heretic. Heretic, starring Hugh Grant. Not going to tell you much about it other than the fact it is super, super creepy, and we really enjoyed it. So there you go. 2 good movie recommendations from me that are not American Ninja Michael Dudikoff related. Okay.
Right. So Tara found these movies.
No, I'm recommending them to you. I watched them. They're good movies, and I'm telling you, they're good movies.
But who sat you down and was like, "Hey, we can't watch American Ninja 6, but we're gonna watch Saturday Night." And Dan is Danny.
Did she say? Did she put out the big pencil and go, "Oh no, Danny, that's the remote"?
It's moments like these that I really, really can hate you guys.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
The RMS Treehouse Listeners Foundation benefits the families of DFW area police officers and firefighters killed in the line of duty. To donate so we can keep helping those families, please go to treehouseonair.com and click on donate. That is treehouseonair.com and click on donate to donate to the RMS Treehouse Listeners Foundation. Dan O'Malley, Trey Trenholm, and Raj Sharma back with you inside the Treehouse. Just a little bit more before we close up for the day. So we talked earlier about the monkeys mounting deer in Japan. There is another monkey story that I think should fit in nicely in the show, not into the deer. Hey, do you guys remember last year the escaped monkeys from the South Carolina lab? They had escaped the testing lab, like something out of Hollywood, into the nearby forest, and the lab was having trouble getting all those monkeys captured and back into the lab, right?
Yeah.
Well, according to this that Trey saw recently, all the monkeys that escaped from that South Carolina research facility have been recaptured. At least that's what the monkeys would have you believe. Because if I'm part of that research team in that lab that's been testing on these monkeys, and we've managed to recapture them after their great escape, I'm not going to trust them. What if it was their plan to get caught? Why are you looking at me like that, Trey? You think I'm crazy?
They planned to get caught so they could. Are we going Planet of the Apes here?
Yep, pretty much. It's exactly what I'm doing.
Okay.
And it's not what I'm doing; it's what they're doing. Like when they get out in the woods, maybe they got into somebody's house and watched some movies. And if you're a monkey who's escaped from a research lab, what movie would you rather watch than Planet of the Apes?
Every
Deer
which way
Hunter?
but loose.
I like how you both had very good yet distinct answers.
You think they saw Outbreak and then
Or,
So
or
what-
maybe
what-
they saw Ed. That's the movie that starred Matthew LeBlanc from Friends with the third base playing ape.
Which you saw, by the way.
I'm a huge
Do
baseball
you
fan.
have- Thank God you didn't say I'm a huge LeBlanc fan.
But yeah, all those monkeys that escaped from that South Carolina lab have been recaptured. There was
we
a
watched the
final holdout.
video. We watched the video. That wasn't a lab. Wasn't it some dude's house?
It did sort of have that feeling. It's like the research director or the lab director looked like he was giving an interview to the local TV station from his mom's basement. It did definitely look like that.
Yeah.
But the 43 rhesus macaque primates escaped after a caretaker failed to secure the doors. All are now back at the Alpha Genesis Primate Research Center in Yamasee. The last 4 recaptured this week appear to be in good health, according to CEO Greg Westergaard from his mom's basement.
Well, I'm glad Macaque's healthy.
No damage.
no deer.
That they know of. I mean, they were in the forest for a few months. I mean, who knows what they humped?
Yeah. Macaques get everywhere.
Mhm. There,
Like
there might
that's-
be some really weird looking squirrels in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that would be creepy. That visual stuck in my head now, and I
Yeah,
can't.
you're welcome.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
the treehouse will stick with you, just like a monkey on a deer in Japan. All right, there's one last thing I wanted to throw at you. We all know that monkeys seemingly have short attention spans, right? Well, they're not the only ones. New research is showing that people with ADHD have shorter life expectancy than people without ADHD. How bad is that disorder if you can't even focus on living?
I was about to say the same thing. Like you're so, it's that bad you can't focus on breathing.
I mean, aren't there exercises that you can do or something?
Isn't that what Adderall is for? They're giving you methamphetamines.
Which I'm sure extends your life.
I think we found. I think we broke the code here. For all things Treehouse, go to treehouseonair.com. Be sure to find and follow us on social media as well. For me, it's at the Dan O'Malley. For Trey, it's at Trey Trenholm 1. And for Raj, it's at Comedian Raj. And for Jerry Caldwell, follow him as well at That Jerry Guy. We'll see you back inside the Treehouse tomorrow.